If you went back in time and said there is no realization that people use their minds to interpret words, then you're pushing humanity back toward a less aware state. Oral law is the same invention as the Sabbath, so I guess you could presume humans became aware enough to think of the Sabbath but not much else, though I have no idea how you could do that. Consider the first words, that darkness came first. Judaism uses those to determine that a day begins the night before. They concluded God rested because humans need rest, and they could see that resting the ox or whatever animal was better for it. They didn't even need a whole day to see this. People and animals lie down or take breaks because work cannot be continuous. So they saw the functions of life continue without a pause, but they are not continuous in every sense because people and animals, and fields that need to rest or they lose the power to produce are not able to act continuously. Imagine if we couldn't see that. The closest we've come is slave labor, like in the World War II German labor camps where bodies continuously coming in replaced the dead. That's continuous production of a sort, kind of like making beer as a continuous process, except that process used up people. From the observation that people need rest comes the Sabbath. And sacrifice is related. You sacrifice, even killing people as offerings, because you conclude that this balances what you receive. If your God gives you life and blood, then you show you are worthy of receiving more by offering life and blood. I try to imagine a world in which this imaginative force separates from religion. That reduces the importance of religion, and the concept of God. We've tried that too. Much of the 20THC was spent pursuing God substitutes that promised a scientific or at least wholly rational approach to human nature. However one feels about those, individually and as a whole, you can't deny they became religion substitutes. How would Judaism be practiced if rabbinism oral Torah is purged out of it? The same way Christianity would be practiced if briefly dead Jesus salvationism, New Testament, is purged out of it. It is rather odd that Christians go blind when it comes to the fact that it is normal and desirable for Jews to keep developing our own scriptural ideas through our own oral tradition codified and written and interacted with over the years as our own scripture plus Talmud. It is rather odd that Christians accept their own entitlement to tack their own composition, the New Testament, onto the Jewish scripture that they exploit. And it is odd that they accept their own right to call their English translations of the amalgamated, pasted together, reinterpreted, Christianized, translated result, the Bible, as if all the bits and pieces in both segments of their OT plus NT were really one unified composition. Jews would not exist without the oral Torah. As witnessed by today's non-observant, non-Orthodox Jews who have, indeed, by and large abandoned the oral Torah. If non-observant Jews do practice parts of the oral Torah, it is done out of tradition or even ignorance, not being aware from where these traditions originated. What they do not believe is that it is GD's oral Torah, given to Moshe Rabbeinu on Har Sinai, and passed on for thousands of years. Many sects of Jews have denied the oral Torah. They either no longer exist or exist as a truly tiny, obscure and irrelevant group. Today, the majority of Jews either deny or are ignorant of the oral Torah. They believe that the Gashmius and Narashgate of this world is more important than GD, his Torah, and Jewish law. As their ignorance or denial goes, so goes their Jewish identity. While Torah observant, Orthodox Jews grow and preserve Jews and GD's Torah in this world.